Oh my gosh, Instagram has taken some flack over the last couple of years. Photographers are blaming the platform for basically making it much, much harder for any photographer to get their work seen on the platform. And it means that it's kind of created this second job that we've all got now where we have to maintain our reach. But with photos showing up on the feed, I think it's time we talked about the real reasons why photography kind of died on Instagram. And I don't think it's got much to do with Instagram. Okay, so we got the first problem, okay? Most people on Instagram are not photographers, and it's important that we understand the difference between a photo post and photography. Okay, most people on the platform are not photographers. The trouble is, even if there's loads going on in a photo kind of compositionally or in terms of the light or the technical part of that photo, if there's nothing in there to satisfy a non-photographer, they're just going to scroll by, and that's going to send all of those bad signals to Instagram saying don't share this content. Many photographers post their photos as if other photographers are going to be looking at it. You need to try and communicate your photography in a way that a non-photographer can relate to. And that's the fix for this problem. So taking them on the journey, telling them the story, showing them the technicals is fine, but do it in a way that a beginner or a non-photographer can understand. The next issue we have with photography on Instagram is that it's not new anymore. I can still remember the first time I scrolled on Instagram and saw a picture of a dude stood in front of a waterfall in Bali, probably. It blew my mind. It really inspired me. I was like, wow, what is this place? What is this photo? And who is this guy? But it's not new anymore. If I see the same photo, I scroll by. The same photo, maybe even the same actual photo. Right now, if I see it, it doesn't really hit me. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Now, if you scale that up across the entire population of the world, that's happening. You know, the things that were really, really new and inspirational a couple of years ago have kind of propagated through all of Instagram and now are simply not. So what's the fix for this? I'm not going to say be original, because what does that really mean? It doesn't mean anything. And also it kind of degrades the people that do create those images as saying that they're not original. They are original. You take the picture, that's original. It's never been taken before, that exact image. It might be the same type of composition, same location, but it's an original piece of work that person should feel really proud of. Take them on a different journey, show them with different context. And an easy way to do this is just pour yourself into it, because there's only one of you. I said this in all my videos, just one of you, which means that if you put yourself into it, not your actual self, I just mean your personality into it, then it's original. Having said that, there is huge value in sharing your work as photography with photographers. And that's where I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Vero. When I want to share my photography as photography to show other photographers, I'm going to post it to Vero for lots of reasons. Mainly the community is full of really positive, great photographers who can give you good insights and inspire you themselves. I can share the image in full resolution. And when I'm posting, I can show it as a portrait. I can then post a landscape photo all side by side in a carousel, which means that I can just share any aspect ratio that I want, which is really important if you are proud of your photography, because that crop is quite important. And the fact that Vero let us do that show that they are serious about giving photographers a platform. And on Vero, you can also explore all the different types of photography as their own category. So if you're into street photography, you can hit the button and explore all the street photography, or if you're into landscape photography or all the different disciplines of photography, you can explore those specifically. So if you want to check out Vero and give it a go, hit the link in my description, come over to my account, say hi, leave a comment on one of my photos, and I'll head over to your account and take a look at your work as well. Now, for the next point, I don't want to look back at photography. I want to look forward. I'm going to make a prediction here, which probably is quite easy to make. AI imagery that looks like photography is going to flood through Instagram. It's already started. I'm into interiors photography and things like that. Many of the images that I see are from one dude who's creating these actually really beautiful images of interiors. The trouble is, the majority of people don't know that they're AI images. And the trouble is, as I was saying before, with a lot of different types of photography kind of not being new anymore, we're seeing the same kinds of image across the platform. AI is new. So this is just something to keep an eye out on. If you see AI imagery on Instagram and you see more of it, this is probably what's happening. The next reason that it's so difficult for your photography to get seen on Instagram is that there is a lot of it. And the thing is, right, when I was at film school about 20 years ago, I'm older than I look. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I look old. But I get told. I got ID'd in the shop the other day. That means they thought I was 17. I'm nearly 40 years old. So anyway, photography 20 years ago, which is quite young in terms of the whole landscape or timeline of photography. 20 years ago, though, I was shooting on a film camera because digital cameras were rubbish. And as someone learning it, it wasn't easy because it cost money. You know, you'd end up with like 4 good photos off a whole roll. And it was really slow to learn. Then digital cameras came. It used to be that photography was really, really hard. And you're going to hate me for saying this, but compared to that, photography right now is easy. You can just point your camera at stuff and get some kind of image. Now it's just a creative choice. What aperture do you want to be shooting at? Do you want depth of field? All these different things. It's so forgiving right now, and that's great. That's amazing. That means that everybody can get past the big barrier, which is how do you do photography? And now we can be creative and capture things and tell stories. It's amazing. But what comes with that is lots and lots of photography, huge amount of saturation, and it's very difficult to put your head above the canopy. To do that, you've got to be different, or you've got to be better, or you've just got to be louder. That is another reason why photography kind of died on Instagram. Not everybody can get their images in front of people, which is the whole reason you do it. And that kind of kills the vibe a little bit. And finally, Instagram is not about photography. It's not about pictures, really. It's about connection. But if you think about it, it doesn't happen through one image. I think photographers, we post one image or one post full of images, and we think that that's the moment, that's it, you know. But it doesn't happen like that. People might find you through one post, or you might find someone else through one post. But you get to know people, you connect with people through 30, 40, 50 posts. And I think us photographers forget that. We forget that that connection is built over time because our images are so kind of singular. It's a moment, it's a piece of work that we share it. And we think that that individual moment, that single thing, is how the connection is made, but it's not. It happens over time. The whole point of this video is to try and illustrate the kind of landscape to help people understand that it wasn't Instagram that did this to photographers. It's a cultural shift. And Instagram wasn't the cause of it. It was present during it. And it's where that was mostly felt. But photography is alive. Anyone can enjoy photography now. It's brilliant. It's an amazing time for photography. I think this is the best time. And now that photography has changed, what we do with our photos has also changed. As I said, I post less photos, or I put less work into posting photos because for me, I want to put my efforts into sharing the story behind those photos, or just simply people coming along for the ride. And if you want to check out those videos, they're not on this channel, they're on a different channel. I'll link it in the description. I think the thing I'd like to leave you with is simply enjoy your photography, post it wherever you want, and don't think about the numbers. Think about what it means to you. Simple as that.